I want to make right away is that the focus of tonight's lesson is how Facebook and Instagram have ruined the diet and fitness industry. Now, I can hear people right now just about to chime in and say, well, we don't want to hear what's going wrong, or we don't want to hear what's bad. Well, you need to hear what's going wrong. We got to identify the problem before we can fix it. We got to identify the problem before we can fix it. Number two is that we have to, we've got to be able to, I forgot what else I was going to say. I'm losing my train of thought. It was a good point I was going to make. But that's what we've got to do here. And, here's the other point I was going to make, is that if you're working out a math equation, an algebra equation, a calculus equation, if you are off by one little thing can be off, and you'll screw up the whole problem. If you've ever taken any kind of math class, you mess up one little place, it's going to screw up the whole problem. Same thing goes with this industry. If you don't start from the premise and start with the right foundation, and if you're off track on the get-go, even one little step, you won't understand the problem. So we're going to go to the root of the problem. So with the advent, and I'm telling you, MySpace is when it started. It got worse with Facebook, and it's out of control on Instagram. It is out of control. I've actually got more plugged into Instagram in the last 4 or 5 months. The fitness, diet, whatever you want to call it, industry is out of control. And what it's done is, especially Instagram, is it started the expansion and broadened a broader scope of misinformation. Now, the first thing you're going to say is, well, what about the good information? Hasn't it made an increase in quality information? And the answer to that's very simple. Well, yeah, but you're missing the point. 3% of 300 is the exact same percentage as 3% of 300 million. So it's gotten bigger, but it's still the minority. The percentage, it hasn't, and it's easier and more fun to believe the wrong stuff. And we're going to get to it. Trust me, we're going to get to it. All right. Now, and what the social media has done is that it's diluted down quality info, and it's drowned out by the tidal wave of misinformation. I mean, there's nobody on the face of the interwebs, in the galaxy of the internet, that says what I say. There's nobody. There's a few people that, they kind of sort of agree with them, but they don't. There's nobody that says what I say. And that's a different webinar for a different day. And the next question you're going to ask is, how do I know what to follow? Well, there's two ways. Number one, you're not going to want to hear this. It just takes a lot of discernment. Some people do not have discernment. Their emotions do their thinking for them. And what I meant by does it make sense is this. When I first started writing articles for, at the time, the highest paying contributing, meaning they paid their contributors higher than any other website, fitness website on planet Earth, when I started writing for them back in 2008, and I had people sign up based solely off my articles. They didn't know I wrote under a pseudonym. And I would say, what made you sign up with me? And what they would say is, what you said just makes sense. It just made sense. And sometimes you got to get bare bones. You got to get down to the nitty gritty. You got to take the gloves off and just be ruthlessly, brutally honest. And that's what I'm good at. So let's roll with this. You're not going to like this. Hard work doesn't work in the gym, but in the kitchen, it does. Okay? What I mean by that is this. If you can look right down here, and I got this off a hugely popular Facebook fitness page. Someone busier than you is at the gym right now for the second time today. The message this is sending, very loud and clear, is that more is better. The more work, the more time you spend at the gym exercising, lifting weights, cardio, the better results you're going to get. That's exactly the message. More is better. Okay, that's not true. Take one look at Instagram and Facebook, and they are littered with images touting work. more work or hard work as the solution to fat loss and sculpting your super fit athletic physique. Guys, it's unbelievable, the onslaught. It's worse on Instagram. I'm telling you, I've never seen such a tidal wave of just misinformation in my life. And the number one message they're sending is just work hard. I'm here to tell you hard work does not work. Not in the gym. Not past a certain point. Not past a certain point. There's an old saying, obsessive action is a form of laziness. We want you in the kitchen is where you should be working hard. We want you in the kitchen buying your food, cooking your food, weighing your food, measuring your food, packing your food, then eating your food when it's supposed to be eaten, every meal of the day, 24 hours during the day. Now, who believes this? Who buys into this? For the most part, when I say young, I'm referring to the 20-something. I know there's some women in their 30s and 40s. I'm not letting you off the hook because there's some in their 30s and 40s that buy into this. There are, maybe even in their 50s. But the majority are the 20-something crowd. They're out of control with it. And the young girls love this because when you're young, you can oftentimes overload your workout and just eat low calorie and still make progress and still look pretty good. You can get away with it. You don't have to have great genetics either. We'll get to that in a minute. And a lot of these young girls, they're disciplined in the sense that they'll go to the gym. They will kill themselves before they'll miss a gym workout or a running workout or a track or whatever, or a jog or whatever. They will work out and then come in and eat protein shakes, protein bars, and then have a cheat meal twice a week and eat junk food. So they're disciplined now. And like I said, I've seen so many of these young 22, 24, 26-year-old girls on Instagram that are, relatively speaking, ripped. Now, they don't have a ton of muscle. They're still, young and don't have the muscle maturity. But I've seen some very lean, ripped women. And I think that most of them are drug-free. A lot of them are. But you're like, well, how are they doing it? Well, they're young. In case you guys don't know yet, when you are young, your body operates better. It functions more effectively, male or female. And I'm not making excuses for women that have had kids. I'm not doing that right now. But if a woman has had a kid, her body, there is a less chance it's going to function as optimally. Not making excuses for them, and not saying you can't look awesome after pregnancy, because you can. But what I am saying is that when you're younger, things come a lot easier. Your recovery, your fat loss, your hormonal function. And that doesn't mean you have great genetics. You can have, okay, not bad. But that's why so many young girls can overtrain so badly, eat just low-calorie, bland, either cheat meals, bars, shakes, and get ripped and look like a fitness model. Now, why don't the younglings understand this? Okay? And the number one reason is because they're part of the problem. They're creating the frenzy. They are the frenzy. Here we go. And this, I blocked her name out here, but you might have seen this girl. She's one of the worst ones I've ever seen. And she's gained about 30 pounds since this photo, because, when you follow this protocol, this just work hard work protocol, it's not sustainable. You can't live like that. And you end up blowing up like the Goodyear blimp in just a matter of time. So good things come to those who train smart. No. Good things come to those who pack their meals. No, not what it says. Good things come to those who work out correctly. No. Good things come to those who work their asses off. It doesn't take skill. It doesn't take the right math. You can do whatever you want, do as much as you want, just work your ass off and results will come. This is the message. The 20-somethings they're creating the frenzy. And the sad part is there's 43-year-old women with 2 kids in high school that buy into this garbage. I mean, I've seen obese women that run marathons And they buy into this garbage that just work like crazy and you get better. No, no. This young girl can get away with it because she's young. No, she won't sustain it. She'll burn out. That's why she's gained 30 pounds like in the last year. But they're part of the frenzy. And they have no life discernment. They don't know anything about, forget exercise, they don't know anything about life. What are you going to learn? What are you going to learn from a 24-year-old? I mean, if you're a 46-year-old housewife with a degree, whether you work or not, you know, I've known 47-year-old women with like 2 teenage kids that like have advanced degrees that will listen to what these 24-year-old girls say. I'm telling you, it's like discernment goes out the window. So my point is I'm not giving women in their 30s and up a free pass on automatically having discernment. Although I think most would have more than a 22-year-old. And I think everybody listening tonight will agree with that. What I'm saying is that these younger women have no life discernment. There's none. They don't have any idea what's going on. And, you know, you have to live and you learn. You know, my body's changed. I have to work out and eat totally different now than I did. I'm 38 when I was 32, just 6 years ago. I mean, and I'm a guy, I can't imagine what a woman would have to go through. So optimal hormone function declines, fully functioning metabolism declines, and they have as you get older, and they have a high recovery ability. So these younger girls, that's what a lot of you women don't understand. That y'all, some of y'all would be in the same boat these young ones are in. Had the fitness industry and social media been as big 15, 20 years ago? Does that make sense? So you're looking to these young girls, and that doesn't even include the other 20-something-year-old girls that are endomorphs, battle obesity, and have poor genetics. They buy in even more. So now here's the kicker. Then what will happen is these 24-year-old, 26-year-old girls, they'll tout hard work, we see it, work your ass off, hard work, but then boast that they're privy to secret diet and training strategies. Guys, I've seen it. They'll talk about, good things come to those that bust their asses, that work their ass off, that work harder. Then they'll say, but find out my special workout how I get this way. So then they kind of flip the script on it. It's either one or the other, guys, you know, but it's really not one or the other. It's definitely not overworking. But you got to understand, these are horrendous. These women are grossly in error. And if you don't understand and blatantly just strip them down one by one, they're going to not only destroy themselves, but bring other women down with them. And that's what we're here to do tonight. Let's keep moving. You go to any of these Instagram girls, Facebook girls, bikini fitness figure girls, fitness model girls, their diet is twigs and berries plus junk. It's never balanced nutrition. It's never acorn squash and coconut oil, black beans, wild organic salmon, grass-fed beef, whole organic brown eggs, quinoa, steel-cut oats, yams. It's never that. That all of that is part of a balanced nutritional program. No, it's not that. Here's what they eat. And you're like, well, no, I know. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. I know. This is what they eat. They eat. Here's what they eat. These younglings will, and once again, I'm not giving a free pass just because you're over 30. Okay, the 30s and 40s do this too, but this is profoundly widespread in the 20-something crowd. They don't eat. Now they think they do, and they'll say I eat clean or I eat flexible dieting or one of these goofy non-definition diet programs. What they do is, and this is what they do, they will follow an eating program. I'm hesitant to even call it a program, but they'll eat. Their diet will be junk food about 3 to 5 times a week. They'll have cheesecake. They'll have cookies. They'll have popcorn at the movie theater. They'll have a hamburger. They'll have like Lucky Charms for breakfast. These are women that claim they're a fixture in the fitness industry. Now, when they're not eating that, they'll have a protein shake or a protein bar. And there's not much room left for healthy food. I didn't say balanced food, but they'll have like tuna veggies, which is healthy, but it's not balanced. It could be balanced, but it's not. Um, Tilapia, broccoli, chicken asparagus, chicken veggies, just stuff like that. So that's about I don't know, anywhere from 30 to 60% of their diet. The protein bars and protein shakes are at least 25%, if not more. And then the other, I don't know, 10, 15% is going to be junk food, which they'll say it fits their macros or whatever they'll say. They'll say it's a cheat meal, and so that's what they do. Now here's the funny part. You're gonna love this. They follow a cookie cutter, and I'm hesitant to call it a program, but they'll follow it from their inept trainer. Well, how do you know? I know because I've been doing this for close to 20 years now. And almost I'll say every single, well, all but for the last 10 years, every woman I've been with, more than 10 years, probably the last 14 years, every woman I've been with has been some type of a figure, bikini, fitness, whatever competitor. And they've all had some trainer, been one of these teams, like teams, I'm not going to say it, but team so-and-so or team so-and-so, or you know what I'm talking about. And what they do is they give them cookie cutter diet and exercise programs. Is every single girl's program exactly the same? Not necessarily at the same time, no. But what they'll do is the team or the coach, if you even want to call them that, will make a handful of programs and just send them out to different girls, not relative to their somatotype, height, weight, whatever. Now, and sometimes they are identical. Different trainers do them differently. But the problem with that, and you're going to see this, these girls will then sell you, remember, the girls that have hot bodies now, young, ripped, fitness-looking girls, the ones that work hard, then they'll sell on Instagram and Facebook, they'll sell you. Yeah, you. The other 20-something or the 30 or 40-something. They'll sell you a program they bought from a cookie cutter program that's meant for a girl that's doing a bikini show or figure show. Then they'll sell it to a woman 12 years older or their own age that could be 50 pounds heavier. And they'll sell it. Then they turn around, they copy and paste the program onto a sheet and sell it to you for some charge $250, some $300, some even $400. And they'll tell you, well, I have a secret. That's what they do. This is a abortion. This is a major, major problem. And I'm going to give you proof. And if you don't believe me, I got proof. Here we go. And this is called the supplement horse. But we'll get to that more in a minute. What does it say? And I blocked everything out on this person. 19 years old. They're going to sell you, a 32-year-old woman, at 19 now, a personal online training and diet plan. And Inner Armour is the name of the supplement company that they're supposedly sponsored by, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. But this is 19. Guys, I just picked this one at random. I just randomly found this. Look at this. 30,000 people? What's 1% of 30,000? 30? 300? I don't know. But 1% of those are going to take the bait. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine someone that said, and this is, hey, this person, their whole page was work your ass off, work harder, blah, 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 blah. It's all about work. So you take these girls that are doing that, and then they're turning it right around, and they're going to copy and paste the program they got from their quote-unquote coach and sell it to you. Now, what is a supplement whore? But let me jump back here for 1 second. Guys, this is, you go to any fitness Instagram girl, and over half of them, not all, but over half of any fitness-related competitor Instagram bikini girl, they're gonna be selling programs. 19 years old. She's got it figured out. I'm telling you guys, and you wonder why the fitness industry is done. It is over. It's done with. Don't. I don't know what else to tell you. Well, I do. We're going to keep going. Now, I was in the coffee shop next door last week or 2 weeks ago, and I heard these two girls. I heard them, and they were sitting at the table next to me with who I guess was some type of a trainer or bikini competitor, I guess. And she was in really good shape, and she looked good. And the other two were definitely overweight, and they were in awe of her. She was their messiah. They literally fawned over, oh, what about this? And she was, I think, trying to talk them into personal training. Long story short, I heard the two obese girls say, and these are young girls, these are 20-something girls. They say, I would love to be sponsored by a supplement company. Why would an obese girl want to be sponsored by a supplement company? Wouldn't you rather have a nice paying job? Wouldn't you rather have a nice, very effective, fulfilling relationship? I mean, that's about 101 on your, that should be about 120 on your priority list. Let me explain to you what a supplement contract or sponsorship means. Okay, this is what it means. Because we're going to get that right now. And they all say, what does it say? Sponsored by, whatever this brand is on her page. But they all say this. They boast as though it's a badge of honor. You would think they had a master's degree in chemical engineering the way they boasted about this. Here's what it means. When you see these girls that say sponsored by so-and-so, all it means is that that company is giving them a discount on supplements. Or, best case scenario, it means that they're going to get a very small care packet. A care pack is something that you get monthly, and it can have 1, 2, 3 items from the company in there. And you don't get to pick. They're usually just going to send you their most inexpensive ones. And what they also want you to do is you have to fulfill your end of the bargain. They want you to get out and pimp and whore out their supplements. Guys, the supplement industry is a $33 billion industry. And the messages is sending based off these Instagram and Facebook pages is that work your ass off, eat junk food is okay, eat super clean, which really means twigs and berries, but then have junk 3 or 4 days a week, and take tons of supplements. Every single selfie that you see, guys, here it is. Every single selfie, not every single, but probably over half of them on Instagram are the girl has a yummy protein bar with a coffee, with a Starbucks, or a pre-workout powder. That's it. I mean, they are supplement whores. Do you understand the horrible state the fitness industry is in? And you're like, well, no, people know better. People don't know better. Social media owns the minds of people. They are on their cell phone all day, and Instagram, Facebook, it plasters. That's bigger than anything else. That's bigger than TV commercials. Now, this gives the impression to newbies and the uninitiated, which makes up 99% of the fitness population, that supplements are required. Hard work in the gym. Kick your ass, work your ass off, more work in the gym, and supplements are required to be successful. Am I right? Oh, and they're going to make a profit on the side. You best believe this 19-year-old chicka, she's going to get paid on the side too now. She's going to scam you for some programs. She's got 30,000 fans. Somebody's listening to her. 19 years old. I'm telling you. Overtrained. Now, so here's where we're at. Once again, don't wish for it. Don't plan for it. Don't prepare for it. Don't strategize for it. Just work for it. Telling you guys, this is where we're at. Overtrain with garbage exercises. So we're going to overtrain. We're going to do our exercises wrong, and we're not going to eat the right food, and we're going to give you a ton of supplements that you really don't need and are going to hold you back and burn out and fry your adrenals. So these girls are training with a low exercise economy. And I'm going to say this for the 15th time now. I'm not giving the women 30 and over a pass. They're not as bad, because at that age, most women have maturity and have moved on in life, want a family, still want to be fit, but their husband, their kids, their career are more important than being hot in a bikini or being a boss in the gym. Agreed? I think we can all agree with that. And it's just, we'll give you a pass when you're young. I know you're young and dumb. I was there too. I've been there before. I was there 23, 24 years ago, but not that long ago, I think 12 years ago. But the point I'm making here is that they're the main demographic, the 20-somethings. They have incorrect lifting technique. Their exercise programs are just wrong. This one girl, the girl in that banner that I showed that said work your asses off, I'll never forget, last year she had posted her workout on her Facebook page, and she had like literally 20, as in 20, supersets for her back. I'm telling you guys, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. You can't make this stuff up. And you wonder why the diet and fitness industry is ruined, and it's not going to get any better. Because you know who makes money off all this? The fitness and bikini federations, the supplement companies, and the higher ups or the bottom feeders in the fitness industry. They can too. They can make some profit too. And the naive general populace get fleeced. You are getting fleeced. How does it feel? Think about that. But I'm going to help you before the night's over. And then they overtrain. Plus bars, shakes, tons of coffee. We see it all over Instagram. Starbucks and a Quest bar. It's everywhere. Twigs and berries plus junk food equals zero success. So what should I do? Watch this now. Your training must fit your eating, never the other way around. And I've said this before in a video I did, is that you always want to have your nutritional program designed first. Too many people, they go to spinning class, they do treadmill, they do Stairmaster, they do boot camp, then they train back and chest, they do hamstrings and calves on Wednesday, but they run 3 miles on Thursday, and then they just eat. Wrong. Wrong answer. What you do is you have a specific nutritional program designed, watch this, designed based off your, I didn't say workout schedule, I said work schedule, your job and your daily responsibilities. Work, kids, husband, wife, whatever. Number 2, off your body type, your somatotype, and off your height and weight. Once that is done, and you build that, then you plug in a brief amount of exercise to add that extra stimulus. Now you're going to say, here's what I'm going to get. If you exceed the boundaries of your eating with your training, you will burn muscle and you will overtrain. If you exceed the boundaries of your training with your eating, you gain body fat. Now here's the tough part. You're like, well, how do people get ripped, or how do they? A lot of them are young with pretty good genetics. A lot of them take steroids. Okay? The few that have marginal genetics, or they can sustain it long periods of time that have marginal to below average genetics, they're able to do it because they follow the right program that combines the right training program. I didn't say exercise, but training to fit within the confines of the foundational eating. And you have to get it just right. It almost has to, almost about it. It's got to be very close to perfect, if not perfect. And it's not very hard to develop a perfect nutritional program if you know how to do it. Well, let me rephrase it. It's not hard to follow one once you have it in place. And this is the solution. And I'm going to walk through with you guys. You've got to take ownership, accountability that you're lost and need help. You don't know how to do it. I promise you, you don't. And your friend, your girlfriend that looks good in hot body, That's because it's from her mom and dad. It's her genetics. Obtain the right map, your customized program. You've got to have that. You've got to have the right map, your customized program. Read your program, meditate on your program, absorb your program. Have faith, trust, and confidence in your program. Follow, obey, and execute your program to